give my obligatory speech. I should have it memorized by now. Good evening. Welcome to the October 11th meeting of the Town of Southampton Conservation Board. In accordance with the Town Board's adoption of Local Law Number 14 of 2022, the Board's meetings are being held both in person at Town Hall and via video conference through Zoom webinar. The link to participate in this meeting via video conference can be found on the town's website at the Town Clerk's Agendas and Meetings portal. You can also watch the live stream video and submit written comments for the public record through the town website. If you are attending via Zoom and wish to speak during this meeting, then please click the raise hand icon. As a reminder to all applicants, agents, and members of the public who wish to speak at the meeting, please state your name and hamlet of residence for the record. Thank you. Well, there is no one in the public right now. There may be some later, but in the meantime, I would invite you all to rise for the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is your pleasure on the minutes of September 27th, 2023?
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm staying.
Public hearings, A022054, Paul Basic and Lisa Gallo. The applicant requests adjournment to December 6, 2023. Kevin, is there anyone on Zoom who wants to speak? There being none, is there a motion to adjourn to December 6th?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Advisory reports for the planning board. 90 Silver Lane LLC, a lot
Good
line
evening.
modification.
Good evening, I'm Marty Shea, Chief Environmental Analyst for the town. This is a lot line modification application that the planning board has referred for two properties located at 90 Silver Lane and 795 Ocean Road in the hamlet of Bridgehampton. There are two recommended comments. First is that based upon a September 29, 2023 Environment Division field assessment, the survey needs to be updated to show the current reconfigured, expanded circular driveway leading to the residence at 795 Ocean Road from Silver Lane, as well as to depict the modified accessory parking footprint along the northerly access drive to the easement / right-of-way granting access from Ocean Road. Second, these drive changes at Lot 2, which is 795 Ocean Road, need to be legalized by filing for an administrative wetland permit and/or be otherwise addressed as part of a Section 292-39B road.
Send these comments to the planning board.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thomas and Julie Crowley.
This is a two-lot residential subdivision that's in its final stage for land located at 7 Canal Street in Hampton Bays. There are two recommended advisory comments. The first is that a review of town imagery and in October 4, 2020 field assessment have revealed that the subject tract inclusive of proposed Lot 2 has a history of clearing and site disturbance as evidenced today by the prevalent non-native and invasive vegetation. And second, the track is separated from Shinnecock Canal by existing paved roads and housing. Moreover, the vacant proposed Lot 2 is located approximately 200 feet landward of the nearest surface waters and tidal wetlands. As a consequence, the planned IAOWTS installation should be sufficient to avert adverse wetland impacts.
Motion to send those comments to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Lester Elliston, I presume that's the estate of Lester Elliston for the subdivision.
This is a subdivision that's in the pre-application stage that's been referred by the planning board for a partially developed tract of land at Norris Lane in Bridgehampton. There are several recommended comments. The first is that based upon an October 4, 2022 field assessment, lots 2 and 3 contain regionally important woodlands whose public values and benefits need to be protected to the maximum extent practicable. Second, these forests are crucial as they offer habitat for diverse plants and animals and are integral to the continued well-being and community character of the Bridgehampton hamlet. The existing woods also play an invaluable role in countering climate change by reducing air, noise, heat, and chemical pollution as a result of biological filtration capabilities and carbon sequestration, as well as by conserving energy through the creation of shade. Thirdly, in this regard, there is a need to restrict tree cutting and land clearing as part of the subdivision approval process by limiting site disturbance to 50% of the lot area on lots 2 and 3.
Motion to send those comments to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Gasper and Devera Teresi.
This is a lot line modification and subdivision that's in its final stages for properties located at Wakeman Road and Fanning Avenue in Hampton Bays. There are 2 recommended advisory comments. The first is that the land subdivision map of Teresi as prepared by Angelo Joseph Cecier, dated July 9, 2002, last revised January 4, 2022, which was received on September 21, 2023, appears to run counter to the recommendations of the March 9, 2022 Conservation Board Advisory Report, which suggested that a 35 feet wide conservation easement be established along the easterly lot line of Lot 3 in the interest of forest protection. Second, the absence of any provision for woodland preservation will result in significant adverse environmental impacts, namely loss of carbon sequestration and wildlife habitat, as well as air and water purification benefits within the eastern Shinnecock Bay watershed and the town's high priority water quality improvement zone.
Motion to send those comments to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? For the ZBA, Stephen Lessar and Melissa Lessar.
This is a pending variance application before the zoning board for property at Noack Harbor Road in Noack. There are several recommended comments. The first indicates that the planned residential improvements have already been conditionally approved by the Conservation Board by resolution adopted on February 8, 2023. Second, the survey, which has been filed with the pending variance application, has also been approved by the Conservation Board. However, the wetland permit has not yet been issued, as we are yet awaiting submittal of the requisite draft covenant establishing the required wetland preservation area and naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer. Such covenant, once approved, will need to be recorded with the Suffolk County Clerk prior to release of the permit. And lastly, as the required wetland buffer revegetation plan has also been filed and approved, there are no other outstanding issues related to the wetland permit and variance applications.
Move to send these comments to the ZBA.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Michael Bigliola and Francesca Dryka.
This variance application relates to developed property at 158 Springville Road in Hampton Bays. There are two recommended comments. The first is that the proposed residential accessory improvements, which pyramid and dimensional setback variances are being sought, have already been authorized by the Conservation Board pursuant to Wetland Permit CB 23035, which was issued on June 14, 2023. Second, the survey which has been filed with the pending variance application is generally consistent with the survey which was approved by the Conservation Board.
Motion to send those comments to the ZBA.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mary T. Shannon and Ann M. O'Connell.
This is a pending variance application for property at 25 Marlin Road in the community of Shinnecock Shores in East Quogue. There are two recommended comments. First is that the requisite wetland permit for the proposed new residence, for which a variance is being sought pursuant to section 330-84D, which is the pyramid law, was conditionally approved by the Conservation Board on June 28, 2023. The second comment indicates that the survey which has been filed with the pending variance application is generally consistent with the survey which has been subsequently approved.
Motion to send those comments to the ZBA.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Simon Hallgarten and Robin Footwick.
This advisory report relates to a pending variance application for property at 7 Red Creek Park, Hampton Bays. First, the report indicates that the proposed residential improvements for which a pyramid variance is being sought have already been authorized by the Conservation Board pursuant to Wetland Permit CB 23054, which was issued on September 20, 2023. And second, the survey which has been filed with the pending variance application is generally consistent with the survey which was approved by the Conservation Board.
Motion to send those comments to the ZBA.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Conservation Management Plan and Easement Interpretation, R 022026, Adrian Cheney. This is postponed to November 1st.
Motion to postpone the interpretation until November 1st, 2023.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Notification of secret lead agency coordination for the Southampton Town Board who wishes to take the responsibility of lead agent.
This relates to secret lead agency coordination request that was sent by the town board to the Conservation Board for planned renourishment of the beaches at the North Sea Beach Colony. These activities would occur within a special taxation district known as a beach erosion control district. The sand that would be deposited would be placed and graded both on state-owned underwater land and private lands along the Little Peconic Bay. There is, in addition to the environmental assessment forms, there is a plan attached to the back of this packet. This is a project which is virtually being wholly overseen by the town board rather than this board. It does require an administrative wetland permit because it relates to beach restoration. which I will be looking to issue once the seeker review is complete. That being said, as this project is governed and overseen by the town board, I would recommend that you defer lead agency status to the town board. And there is a response form that the chair needs to sign if the board is in agreement with my recommendations. That response needs to be sent back to long-range planning tonight after this meeting.
So is there a motion to defer the lead agency status to the town board as they desire?
So moved.
Is this when we have discussion?
Sure.
Okay. Is this normal?
No, actually, it's not, because actually,
No, the answer is no.
actually, because this is a beach restoration project, it's actually eligible for an administrative wetland permit. It doesn't require a conservation board permit. This is the second renourishment that's going to occur. I had issued 2 prior permits for renourishment. So I think the town board had an interest in referring this, just so that this board would be aware of this project, and so that there would be an opportunity at the appropriate time to provide any comment if so warranted. The renourishment of the area would occur utilizing sand that's been dredged from the North Sea Harbor inlet. It's clean material. It's unlikely to have an adverse impact on wetlands.
So this material's already been removed from the inlet?
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
stockpiled
piled somewhere?
at Holmes Hill, which is to the northeast. Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to add something?
Does that answer your question?
I still don't understand the why, though.
Do you know why the town board?
I mean, it's
I guess
unusual.
long-range planning wanted to cover all the bases, knew that the activity required a wetlands permit. The application has actually not yet been formally made to my office, although it is attached to this application. And so, I guess I just wanted to cover their bases in case I deferred the application to this board.
Is it a situation where the project is quite large and maybe a little bit more than what we're accustomed to handling?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Why don't I read the description so the board understands what we're voting on and what the town board wishes to do. The proposed action seeks approval to
Typo. Approval to
I'll
4-2.
read what it says.
You
The
need more?
proposed action seeks approval to dredge approximately 24,000 cubic yards from North Sea Inlet over this 5-year period, which will be pumped on the shoreline and shaped into a designed beach along approximately 1,350 linear feet of Little Peconic Bay shoreline, in accordance with the enclosed project plans designed by First Coastal Corp. Dated September 1st, 2023. Once dredged and pumped on shore, the sand will be shaped with bulldozers into the final design template. Thereafter, the beach will be shaped by natural wind, wave, and tidal forces.
So as indicated
proposed-
earlier, some of that material has already been stockpiled, but
The
The
project,
timeframe for this is 5 years, so it does allow for additional maintenance, dredging, and renourishment.
the project is anticipated to be completed in 3 phases, specifically in year 2024. Approximately 10,000 cubic yards of sand will be dredged and deposited on site, followed by dredging and deposition of 8,000 cubic yards of sand in the year 2026, and 6,000 cubic yards of sand in 2028. Even if your agency declines lead agency status, please use this opportunity to review the proposed action from your agency's standpoint and advise us of any additions, modifications, or concerns which your agency may have relative to this project and/or for the secret process. This is the only referral that your lead agency will receive. This is the only referral that your agency will receive prior to the Conservation Board's holding a preliminary hearing on the subject of the project.
It is not entirely accurate because, as indicated, a activity is eligible for an administrative wetland permit. So that's the permit that actually will be sought rather than a conservation board permit.
Is there a reason why it wouldn't come before us?
Because typically, when the activity centers on restoration, by code, that's an activity that's eligible for an administrative permit and doesn't require relief from the wetland permit issuance standards.
Who is paying for this?
This is a beach erosion control tax district. It's a special taxation district. So the homeowners association in North Sea Beach Colony has agreed to tax themselves to cover the cost of renourishment. They already did one major renourishment, a second minor renourishment, and this is to establish a longer time frame for continued renourishment where warranted. So this is virtually a no cost to the town. It's paid for by the private waterfront landowners along the bayfront. Similar to Bridgehampton and Sagaponic and Tiana, where there are additional beach erosion control special taxation districts.
Did someone make an motion?
Motion and second on the floor.
Excuse me.
Ready to vote? Are your questions in? Okay. It's been moved and seconded to allow the Southampton Town Board to assume lead agency status. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
As a side question, has nothing to do with this, would this be an appropriate approach to the situation in Bay Point?
And the project that you're speaking of is,
65 Cliff Drive in Bay Point?
no.
No?
Oh, you mean in the event that there's a plan to dredge
Yes.
the inlet? It's my understanding that the dredging would occur wholly within waters and bottomlands governed by the trustees. So I would assume that the local permits would be obtained from the trustees. And then, of course, New York State DEC Tidal Wetlands permit would be needed, as well as likely an Army Corps of Engineers permit. But if the dredging is wholly below mean high water, that is not an activity that's regulated by this board.
Interesting.
right, we'll move on to the administrative wetland permits, which are in your packets, and resolution of conditional approval, A 021051, Robert Griffith and Tara Griffith. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval is granted to Robert Griffith and Tara Griffith for the proposed project on the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 022007, Todd Cohen and Jill Cohen. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second. Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval be granted to Todd Cohen and Jill Cohen for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 022041, ML Bridge LLC. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to ML Bridge LLC for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023030, Robert M. Crow and Erica Atonito. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Robert M. Crow and Erica Atonito for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023043, Vito Marzavilla and Adriana Marzavilla. Any discussion?
Move to issue. Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Vito Marzavilla and Adriana Marzavilla for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Preliminary review second determination, A 022082, Erlinda Bildner. This is postponed to October 25th.
Motion to postpone to October 25th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? A 023022, Yulon, this is also postponed to October 25th.
Motion to postpone to October 25th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023040, 11 Shore Drive LLC.
This application relates to a redevelopment plan for property that's located in North Sea. The property has bay frontage and is also adjacent to interior freshwater wetlands. There is a preliminary advisory report on file dated October 6, 2023. This is a challenging site because of the wetland constraints and the seasonal flooding that occurs in this area. It is an application for which significant additional information is needed in order to make a determination as such, recommending that a public hearing be held.
Motion is go ahead, Joe.
Motion to waive public hearing?
No,
No,
schedule.
Schedule it.
November 15th?
Schedule it.
Oh, okay. Motion to schedule a public hearing for November 15th?
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby schedules the public hearing for November 15th, 2023, and that a notice of public hearing be published in the town designated newspaper pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-8C of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A 023045, NW91 Jobs Lane LLC.
This application relates to a developed property in Bridgehampton. There is a preliminary advisory report dated October 6, 2023. The property has significant frontage along Sam's Creek. The application was filed in order to undertake various hardscape and accessory improvements, which are detailed in the report, which among others include the building of a detached garage, pool house, pool patio, sunken terrace, accessory stone patio. The existing sanitary system would be upgraded to an IAOWTS. There are some minor structures and improvements that would be demolished and removed. There are various underground utility lines that need to be routed through the property. There are entries, there are drive gates. This is a property that's encumbered by covenanted wetland preservation area and naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer. I am recommending that buffer be expanded beyond the extension proposed to the applicant. As indicated in the report, formerly when this property came before this board many years ago in conditioning the wetland permit upon buffer establishment, the board had provided a relief in that buffer configuration in order to allow a playhouse to remain within close proximity to wetlands. That playhouse is now used as a potting shed. The structure is very deteriorated, so I'm asking that structure be relocated or reconstructed further landward on the property in order to close the gap where the structure is within close proximity to wetlands. I also made some recommendations in terms of revisions to the fence plan and the native revegetation plan. In speaking with the applicant's agent, the landowner is amenable to those recommendations. As such, we do have sufficient information to make a determination. Accordingly, I'm recommending that the public hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution to issue modification of conditional approval, CB 1400044, Gary Luciani.
I'm sure that most of the board recalls the lengthy public hearings that were held regarding a redevelopment plan for 38 Bay Avenue in Noyak. The residential construction that was conditionally approved by this board, inclusive of pool and various decks, was conditioned both upon establishment of covenanted wetland preservation areas and wetland buffers, as well as upon extensive reclamation of portions of the wetlands and bufferlands that were impacted over the years by unauthorized fill. The conditional approval expires in December of this year. The applicant has yet to draft the necessary covenants in order to allow the wetland permit to be issued. Prior to submitting those draft covenants, the applicant decided to make some minor revision to the construction plans. Those changes are unlikely to result in any new or adverse wetland impacts. The applicant is yet amenable to all the recommended mitigative measures that were attached to the original conditional approval. Accordingly, the resolution before you is to modify the conditional approval to allow the revised project plans to be approved and the necessary draft covenants to be submitted to the town for review and subsequent filing with the county clerk so that the wetland permit can be released.
Motion to issue the modification.
Second.
Resolved that a wetlands permit modification be issued to Gary Luciani for the proposed project of the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution to issue wetland permit modification, HCB 2124, Mary Tropiano.
This pending wetland permit modification application relates to a waterfront residence on East Beach Drive in North Sea. Formerly, this board had issued a permit to reauthorize legalization of various improvements at the site. After the wetland permit was issued, the building division found that a small seaside deck that takes in 55 square feet was constructed without wetland or building permits after the effective date of Chapter 325. So the applicant has come back and wants to legalize that small deck area, which had been part of the project plans that went before this board. In acknowledgement of the required mitigation, the legalization of that deck is unlikely to result in any new or adverse wetland impacts. So this is a resolution to approve the necessary permit modifications in order to allow for issuance of an amended permit, and then issuance and closeout of the necessary building permits.
Motion to issue the modification.
Second.
Resolve that a wetlands permit modification be issued to Mary V. Tropiano for the proposed project by the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all. Now,